I would love to sit here tonight and wax lyrical and tell you that Helter Skelter is a brilliant game and you should race out tomorrow and get it. But I can't. If I had to write a review for it right now, my review would be, it's okay. I think that would be my review. It's okay. Now I'll split that okay into two columns, okay? Column one, the awesome part. Everything looks brilliant. Everything is on the money in terms of visuals, okay? The miniatures are probably some of the best Dredd World minis that I've seen for a very long time. Old and new, taken into account. They are really quite nice. Detail on a couple of the helmets of the judges, little bit soft. But pose-wise, fairly interesting. They're kind of doing stuff. They look engaging and they look fun to paint. They are pre-inked as well. And the level of detail, I mean, on Judge Giant, you can make out the giant on his badge, guns in holsters, everything you could want in a mini, by and large. Yeah, it's good. Graphics of the boards, grand. The boards are fairly easy to see your way around. The terrain features that they include, for instance, the red around holes and pits, the yellow around walls that block line of sight, the black circles that indicate areas that have cover, and then on the flip side of the board, the little arrows that indicate balconies that are high ground. All very clear to see, all very straightforward. The font fairly legible. The colours on the maps, other than the boundaries for walls and things like that there, really don't mean anything. Colour could be a little bit of an issue if you have an impairment in that regard, but when you read it and look at it, you will see very clearly too that a wall is a wall and a hole is looking down into something that's in the distance and things like that there. So if you did have a colour issue with your sight, a few minutes closer examination of the boards and you go, well, okay, yeah, right, I know what is what now anyway. Artwork in the box, brilliant. Artwork on the cards, again, brilliant. The character cards particularly, really, really nice. These are pictures that could just as easily be in an issue of 2000 AD. In fact, in some cases, they're better than some of the pictures that have appeared in 2000 AD on occasion too. And the graphics for the general action cards, straightforward images. Everyone's got a logo, everyone's got a symbol, and they're fairly straightforward to make out and understand. And the action symbols, there's only about 6 or 7 of them anyway, so there's not a whole pile of, oh, what's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? Attack symbols are also the exact same, used for defense, shooting, psi, whatever. So everything in that regard's grand. Box. Funny enough, normally we kick off with the box. The box is very, very nice. The storage trays in the box are very, very good. Just set the rulebook over for a second. Second tray, bespoke little spaces for each faction. Space for the cards, space for the map cards, space for the win tokens and things like that there, and for the time fracture pieces. Top board is for the judges and the judges and Strutting Dog. But nice wee touch there. That little shield motif comes out and it's your first player marker. So that's nice. Rulebook. Aside from the fact I don't tend to like the LP style massive rule sheet, it from A to B to C to D to E to F, G. Everything flows. There's no to and fro, straight forward, straight down the line. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Everything's visual. Everyone's got good pictorial explanations for what they're trying to show you as well. Breakdown on the clans. Most of the writing is information only. That is where it kind of starts. Your setup, how to play, taking a turn, what your turn actions can be, summary sheet. Boom. If you take your time, you might manage to spend 15 minutes reading it. So full marks. Again, it's a tried and tested system. It's the Wildlands thing. They weren't trying to reinvent the wheel here. They just put a new skin and a few tweaks on something that they knew already worked. That being said, it's the Wildlands system. It's an arena game. It's never going to go anywhere else. It's never going to be anything else. It's never going to do anything else. In terms of the games that appear down at our club, The Bunker, this would fall into the category of, first of all, it's new. Ooh, what's it like? Let's all play it. And then a couple go, oh, I'll have an hour game of it. And I bet they'll go, all right, so that's that's it? Yeah. Okay. Maybe if we swap the factions. Sure, swap the factions. Because each faction is fairly different. Different strengths, different weaknesses, different abilities. There is some mileage in swapping the factions around and getting to know the strengths and weaknesses of all of them. Certainly, there's 4. And there's the Dark Judges penciled in for January, February. Nor 7 Ice Minis. Interesting to see what price that is. But that's it. That's it. It's get the 5 points. Get those 5 points either by collecting your fragments of time or wiping out 5 opponent models. Each one's worth a point. As soon as you reach 5 points, you've won. If you're playing a multiplayer game and a player's eliminated, game ends. Whoever's got the highest number of points at that point wins. So you get through it quite quickly. And if you like those types of games, you're on a winner here. If you like Wildlands, you're not in all likelihood going to be disappointed by this. You will be, oh great, it's a different way to play a game I really like, even if you're not a big Dredd fan. I, on the other hand, didn't really like the aesthetic of Wildlands itself, so it never entered into my head as being something that I want to have, and I've never even seen anyone with a copy of it. It's straightforward. It's not overly complicated. It would probably, I imagine, be a nice-ish potential for family-esque board game, especially if mum or dad are board gamers and like board games, won't involve more of the kids. There's nothing too hard to grasp going on here, so that might work. There will be a fair degree of some variation through the method that's used for deploying models and indeed your cards for how you do actually, because what actually happens is you've got the map cards. That's these little chaps here, okay? These refer to each of the sections of the map by a number. And everyone will be dealt 10 of these. You'll pick 5 that you like and slip them secretly under your character cards. And those are the spaces they will deploy to when it's your turn to deploy miniatures. The other 5 you'll pass around to your opponent, and each opponent will pass the 5 they don't use. Those are the cards that you will then use to place your timepieces onto the map. So there's a tactic, I suppose, there too, because I could sort of think, well, I can manage to keep my team quite close together, but look, I can spread out Joe or Susan's timepieces over here or close to me. They're going to have to come to me to get them, that sort of thing. And then once those cards have been deployed, they're out of the game. When it comes to your turn, you'll have a set of 7 of your faction cards. And the faction cards carry a couple of different things. One column is a symbol for each of your characters, and the symbol's up at the top of your card, so again, very straightforward to see. The second column is any linked actions to that character, so that's any special action, a shoot action, a target, whatever. It doesn't, can be anything in here. Basically, if it's a linked action, they can do that on the playing of that card alone, rather than playing another card along with them to allow them to do an action. It's a cheaper way of getting to do something. Lifting, moving, climbing, dropping down, shooting, fighting. Everything will cost 1 or more cards. Lifting or time fragment will cost 3 with the symbol of the person who's doing the lifting. Once you have deployed, once you have spent as many cards as you want, you can call your turn over and you'll get to draw 3. 3, that's it. So card management becomes important because some of your cards will interrupt. You will need cards for defending your characters when they get attacked by other people as well. So you will have to balance how many cards you expend on actions and have some room left to defend yourself from your opponents as well, because you are victory points for your opponent. If lifting 3 cards will take you above 7, you only lift 2 7. If lifting 3 doesn't take you back up to 7, tough. So strategy there in managing your cards and shepherding your resources to make sure you can keep the appropriate people you need alive and moving, and then that big risk of lifting, because it's 7 cards, it's going to cost you 3 to lift a thing. So you do have to think about that. So there is a little bit of a strategy and a couple of tiers in this. There's a little bit of luck. Instead of dice, you're using a deck of cards, bigger than likelihood of rolling dice, but I know some people don't like diceless systems. But I think there's enough randomness and whatnot in there to satisfy that curiosity. I don't really see much difference in a card-based combat system and a dice-based combat system, but that's just me, and I'm crazy. But see, that's kind of it. And a lot of the time when I'm playing a board game, I like a bit more of a purpose. This is almost a skirmish game, and I can't quite think what one, but it's almost a skirmish game. It's not quite a war game. It's not really a board game because it's about fighting and getting stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's an arena game. I know we've said that already, but that's kind of where my head is. So for that reason, we cannot fault, in our humble opinion, anything to do with the quality, presentation and production of this game. In terms of the Judge Dredd 2000 AD games that have come to the table in recent times, right up there. To be fair, its competition was pretty much down here because they've been poorish, frankly. But then you're talking to old people who look back at the glory days of Games Workshop's Judge Dredd board game and also the Block War, Block Mania, and still play those. Still get a lot of fun out of them, still get a lot of mileage out of them, and anytime somebody comes down to the club and waves one of those old school games, they never get turned down for a game. Somebody will always, if not multiple people, will always want to play it. And even when we take those games to conventions, never shy of people wanting to have a go at them, mainly because they haven't seen them in like 30 years or something. But don't say it. So yeah, we kind of knew what this was going to be, and for the price, because you'll get this between £40–49. You can pay more if you like. There are places that will charge you more. For the miniatures, I'm nearly tempted to say it's worth it, given the price of minis these days. Nearly tempted to say it's worth it. What we got it for, I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've paid more for worse games. A lot more. But I think, in all honesty, if someone had appeared at the club with this much, would you like a game? I mean, yes, I do. I want a game right now. And I'm fairly sure at the end of that game, I would have been, right, well, thanks. Are you going to pick it up yourself, Andy? No. No, I'm not. And I'm a Dredd fan. Got the costume and all. I'm a Dredd fan. But I'm not a fanboy. I'm not print Judge Dredd on it and I'll buy it. Hang on, they printed Judge Dredd on this and I bought it for research, and that's different. Point is, I think if you like, at the bottom line is, if you like Wildlands, carry on. You're on safe ground and you'll probably be more than happy. It's a variation on a theme for you. If you like Wildlands and Judge Dredd, double win. There's no competition. Go out and get it. If you don't like Wildlands, I don't think the Judge Dredd badge is going to make this something you'll like as a result. It doesn't necessarily feel 2000 AD playing it. This could be any map. These could be any characters doing the exact same thing. It would not change one iota. You would not notice any change at all. So I stick by what we say. It's okay. It ain't great. Not going to race out and tell my mum that I want it for Christmas. I'm not going to race out and tell you to buy it for Christmas. The best I can sort of say is there are several, I was going to say quite good, there are several videos which give a fairly clear portrayal of full gameplay. Do check them out. And if you get the opportunity to play a game of it before you would just race out. If you're the ultimate fanboy who has to have the Brian Boland art and Judge Dredd and everything, well, just go and get it anyway. You're going to be happy, never taking the cellophane off it, in all likelihood. And if you like minis, I think you're going to be happy. The Nikolai Dante Slim ones, there's very little to fault them for, to be honest, in that regard. So, there's always that. The minis can be used for other things.